Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Excel to do some simple math. We'll start off by using Excel to calculate the mean, or average, of a set of numbers. So first we're going to click on the square where we want our average to appear. Then we will click on the equals key, type the word average, hit the open parentheses button, highlight the cells that we want to find the average of, end parentheses, and hit the enter key. Next, let's calculate the standard deviation. Start with clicking on the cell where we want the standard deviation to appear. Hit the equals button on your keyboard, type STDEV period P, open parentheses. Select the numbers that you want. Make sure that you don't select the mean or average. Close parentheses and hit the enter button. So now you have an average or mean and a standard deviation value right here underneath a set of numbers. You'll notice that we have a lot of extra decimals in our average and standard deviation, so let's get rid of those so that the number of decimal places that we have in our calculated values matches the number of decimal places in the original set of data. So we're going to select the mean and standard deviation, or the average and standard deviation. Tell Excel that those are actually numbers. I don't know why it doesn't realize that. And then we're going to click on the decrease decimal button 2 times. There's 1 and 2. So now the number of decimal places in our calculated values matches the number of decimal places in our set of data. We can do the same thing for the next column if we select the mean and standard deviation, then hover our mouse in the bottom right hand corner of the green box. Click, and without letting go, drag over 1. And now, over here, we have the average of the numbers right here. And just below it, we have the standard deviation of the numbers right here. So basically what Excel did is it took everything from right here and moved it right here and changed where it was pulling the numbers from. However, we have a problem right here. You can see that right here we have no decimal places, but our values up here where the original set of data is they all have 1 decimal place. So now we need to go back up to this area and click on the increase decimal button 1 time to make it so our calculated values have the same number of decimal places as our original set of data. The last thing that I want to do with this data sheet is calculate cardiac output based on the data that I've provided. So cardiac output is calculated by multiplying heart rate times stroke volume. And then I can make Excel do that for me by clicking on the square that I want, or the cell that I want my data to appear in, pushing the equals button on my keyboard, clicking on the heart rate value for that row, hitting the asterisk button on my keyboard, so that's shift and then the number 8. For whatever reason, that asterisk tells the computer that you want to multiply. And then I click on the stroke volume, or SV cell, push my enter key, and now Excel has done the math. I can then make Excel calculate the cardiac output for the rest of the data in my table by clicking on my original cardiac output equation, hovering my mouse over the lower right hand corner, clicking, and without letting go, drag down, and then when I've selected all the cells that I want that equation to appear in, I let go. And so now you can see that even down here at the bottom, this cardiac output value is being calculated by multiplying this number by this number. Technically, we should be rounding the cardiac output values that we just got to 3 significant digits, or significant figures. However, doing that is outside the scope of this video, so we're just going to use the decreased decimal feature again to round to the nearest whole number. First, we'll select the values that we need to round, remind Excel that they are actually numbers, and then click on the decreased decimal button 2 times. And there you go. Now you have whole numbers for all of your cardiac outputs.